RatPigs go squeak oink.
Hey, Squeak on YouTube, welcome back to Panther's Garage. I've been having a problem with the thunder tank. It starts normally when it's cool. You drive it for about 5 or 10 minutes, stop, turn the engine off, and then it won't start again until the engine cools down a little bit, and then it'll start. So I'm thinking it's probably the starter solenoid. I'm going to go ahead and replace that today. We've got a CarQuest Premium SBC 3223, and we're going to be installing that. Probably going to drop the starter just because I'm pretty sure all those fasteners in there are pretty rusted and corroded. It's just going to be easier to do it on the bench. You can see I'm sporting my headband today. It's July here in good old Southwest Virginia. It's a little humid, and you know, I sweat like a rat pig. So come along and we'll get this thing changed out. Hopefully it'll fix my problem. I've got my safety chocks in on the rear tire. Next thing we're going to do is remove the negative battery terminal. And I know from lots of experience that this should be an 8mm, and it is. Alright, that's done. Let's go ahead and jack the car up and get it on axle stands. I decided to use axle stands instead of putting it on the ramps because the axle stands, you get them further back on the car, kind of opens up the whole underside. You have to worry about banging your elbows and things. So that's what we're going to do. Christ, girl. Solenoid removal. Alright guys, so there's the starter. And as you can see, a little better light in here. As you can see, we have to try to fit it out that hole. Now, the gurus over at thirdgen.org claim that you can actually slide it out through that hole, and we're going to try to figure that out if we can. Otherwise I'm going to have to drop the Y pipe a little bit, which is going to suck because those bolts are pretty rusted. Alright, I'm going to get you set up so you can watch, and then we're going to attack this thing. Step one is going to be removing our wires. There's really two terminals. There's a terminal back here. It's hard for you guys to see, I know. And there's a terminal up here that has basically all the rest of the wires connected to it. Let's do the big one first. Yep, 15mm. Oh, that's good. That whole thing is moving.
So let me explain what's going on here. The post that comes out of the back of the solenoid has a nut on it that holds it to the back of the solenoid. Then there's a wire lug, and then there's another nut that holds the wire lug onto the post. When I went to remove the nut, the whole post started to turn. That didn't seem ideal, so I had to get a wrench on the first nut that's closer to the back of the solenoid to hold it so I could basically back off the other nut. Luckily, my father had left me a set of ignition wrenches, and they're small enough and thin enough to get on there and to hold that little nut so I could get the other one off.
What a pain in the pooper. I won't lie, that was a pain in the ass. Let's get that off, and we'll take that off, and that'll get that out of the way. Come on, really? You're gonna get that far and then not want to come off anymore. Man, these cars are frustrating. So the cars themselves are built with metal fasteners, but individual components that might have come from a supplier, like AC Delco, are not necessarily metric. Let's see, 3/8 maybe? We'll get that bolt out up there. 13 mil. Yep. Brackets out of the way. That gives us a little bit more work. Alright, so we got the bracket out of the way. I'm just going to unhook the knock sensor here, just to give us a little clearance. Now, we need to get that bolt, and that should release our starter. And then apparently we can push it up into that cavity here and bring it out through this hole here. So saith the guys at thirdgen.org. But let's just get you in here just to take a look. So here's the starter. There are the two bolts. You take those two bolts out, and the starter should come out. So I'm gonna kind of move you out of the way again. Sorry. Let's see. Those look like 15s. Let's see. What do you say? Yep, that's a 15. Big one goes in the bottom, right on the outboard side. Alright, so now we've got it loose. So we're going to push it up into that cavity and bring it out through this hole. Maybe. And I'm sorry if you guys can't see, but I need to be able to work. Get you out of the way a little bit. Alright. Ooh, that's close. That's close. Almost. Oh yeah. I hope you guys caught that. That's awesome right there. I don't know if GM designed that on purpose or what, but that is awesome, and you don't have to take that off. That may be the thumbnail. Alright, well, I got it out on the bench here. So basically, you take out these two fasteners here, and that whole solenoid, I gotta do that one too. That whole solenoid comes off, and you replace it with this one. Yeah, I was afraid something like that was going to happen. Alright, I'm going to put some penetrating oil on that. I cannot afford to shear that bolt off in there. That would be an absolute pain in the ass. I need that to come out. So we're going to go ahead and shoot that and let it sit for a bit. Alright, I got penetrating oil on it. I'm just going to work it back and forth and try to slowly try to get it out of there. So, if this doesn't fix the problem, what I'll probably end up doing is just replacing the whole starter. And apparently you can replace these with the 4th gen starter, which are much smaller and easier to get in and out. But I hope you guys saw it. I don't know, I haven't looked at the video yet. Actually getting it out of there was not incredibly difficult. There we go. Okay. It's probably safe. Alright, so more difficult. Alright. Alright, so I didn't have a fastener that fit this, so I took one of the ones that they gave me that I really didn't have any use for, and I put a nut on it and then I cut it down. Then all I'll do is I'll back the nut off after I clean it up a little bit with a file. I'll back the nut off to kind of reset those threads, and then we'll use that. Alright, so here's the finished product here. That's the screw slash nut or bolt I cut down. Put a little anti-seize on it this time, so hopefully it'll come out next time instead of seizing up. I went ahead and used the original hardware for that and that. I'm not really sure what all this hardware was for. And those copper spacers. They didn't seem to fit anything I'm doing. I will use the washers and nuts on the back side when I attach the terminals. And that's it. Let's go back under the car and get this thing installed. Ah, we're good. Look at that. No need to replace the... Alright.
Let's reconnect the negative. All right, well, here's the final verdict. I took it out and took it for a short run, and it restarted. I was even able to take it, get some gas in it, and it restarted fine. And then I took it out for a longer run where I did a couple second gear and third gear full power runs. A little bit longer run, about 25, 30 minutes. Brought it back, turned off the motor, went to start it again, and nothing. So the reality is there's an exhaust leak back there. It's the exhaust bolt that's very close to the AC compressor, and it's a real pain in the butt to try to get hot or try to get tight. And I had the heads off of this a long time ago, and when I went to try to get that thing tightened up, I don't think I got it tightened up well enough, and it had a small exhaust leak, and I think it's more of a major exhaust leak now. And I think it heats up that solenoid, and then it won't start. So I really don't feel like messing with that exhaust bolt right now. It's really one of the few things on this car that is a real pain in the butt to get to. And it's all rusted, and you never know if you're just going to strip it off and break it. So there is a real risk of, you know, that turning into a major repair that I don't want to deal with. So my next step is to get some thermal wrap and just wrap the starter with some thermal wrap, and hopefully that'll keep it cool enough that it just won't be a problem going forward. And it's not really a super problem. You let the car sit for 10, 15, 20 minutes, it starts right back up again, you go on your way. It's just, you know, you don't want to pull into a gas station, go to get gas, and then have it not start and be that guy. So that's where we're at today. It's been a good day of wrenching. I'm dirty. I got dirt on my fingernails, my grease all over me, so I'm kind of a happy camper even if it didn't work. I enjoy working on my car. And again, thank you all for watching my videos. You know the YouTube stuff. If you want to, go ahead. If you don't, that's fine. I'll see you all later. You have a good day. Cats love RatPigs.